On the day of my childhood sweetheart William's coming-of-age ceremony, he threw the bespoke British suit I'd gifted him into the trash. Instead, he placed the handmade soap flower, made by a poor student, in the most prominent spot. He said it was the most genuine and precious gift he had ever received. He broke off our engagement for her, moving into a slum with her to make cheap soap flowers. Then he regretted it. The next time I saw William, he was selling soap flowers on the street. Many people passed by, but few bought the impractical trinkets. Finally, a middle-aged woman approached his stall. William looked up, greeting her warmly, but she flipped over his table instead. "What kind of crap are you selling? My face is breaking out. You owe me money." William's face turned red. How is that possible?" The woman didn't let up. She grabbed his sleeve and yelled, "I thought you looked decent, young man, so I bought from you and even got some for my friends. Now you're selling me fakes. You can forget about setting up this stall again unless you pay me back." William opened his mouth as if to explain, but eventually said nothing, disgustedly picking up the scattered soap flowers from the muddy ground. These cheap, no-name products couldn't be fakes. This was a young master who used to spend six figures on a whim, now relying on selling dollar store soap flowers to eat. And he couldn't even argue back when someone yelled at him. The driver, after seeing this, expressed his surprise. "Isn't that young Master William? How pitiful. He gave up a multi-million business at home to make $2 sales just to survive. And now someone trashed his stall." I put on my sunglasses and slowly lowered the car window. "Let's go." 2 years ago, William was still the young master of the Walker family, with servants taking care of his every need. We had agreed that after graduation, we'd go abroad, finish our studies, and return home to inherit the family business. But then he met Lily. The Walker family was wealthy. William's father ran a successful listed cosmetics brand. William had always been obedient to his parents. He had good grades and everyone around him flattered him. Lily, on the other hand, was a disadvantaged student on scholarship working 3 jobs just to get by. The two of them were worlds apart. Their meeting was more like an accident. Fastidious William had once forgotten his special hand sanitizer in the bathroom. He was at a loss, rubbing his hands, when Lily, smiling, handed him a petal of soap flower. "Use this, classmate." William was stunned. His skin was sensitive and he was a germaphobe, so he wouldn't normally use anything from someone else. But this time he used it as if compelled by a ghost. He started visiting Lily's club often and helped her with her part-time work, things he would never have done before, like washing dishes. Lily also introduced him to the food stalls outside campus. He had once said those places were dirty, and that he would never touch the food, but he was smiling so happily when he shared a baked sweet potato with Lily. He fell irrevocably in love with Lily. He said after she came into his life, he truly experienced the sunshine, good food, and the beauty of the world. Even the air felt fresher. Because of Lily, he finally felt like he was experiencing the world. He said Lily was kind, genuine, and like a snow lotus. Even on the day of his coming-of-age ceremony, when I went to his dorm to see him, I asked why he hadn't put on the British tailored suit I had sent him. He just turned away awkwardly. "I've gotten too many gifts. I haven't had time to open them yet." But I clearly saw the handmade soap snow lotus flower, made by a poor student, in the most prominent spot. After he met Lily, we grew more and more distant. I was busy preparing for my study abroad application, assuming he was equally occupied with working towards our shared dream. It turns out that he had changed his heart long ago. When I passed by the cafeteria, I saw a familiar figure, someone who looked like William. Given my knowledge of him, the germaphobe wouldn't eat cafeteria food. I thought I was mistaken and was about to leave when that familiar voice entered my ears. "Of course Lily is better. You don't understand how important Lily is to me. Before I met Lily, my world was black and white. After I met her, my world became full of color. She's a million times better than Annabelle. What does Annabelle have besides money? Annabelle isn't even worthy of cleaning her shoes. You know what? That so-called bespoke suit I got, worth hundreds of thousands, is just garbage compared to Lily's heartfelt gift. I already threw it in the trash. I didn't have the heart to tell her that when she asked me." I froze. We had been engaged since childhood, grew up together, and our families were equal in status. We were supposed to get married after completing our studies abroad. Everyone considered us the perfect couple. He had earnestly told me he liked me. We were each other's first loves. Yet now he spoke of me with such disdain. That tailored suit I had him custom made took 2 whole months to create. I couldn't help but rush inside and confront William. If you hate me so much, why were you with me in the first place? When William saw me appear suddenly, his eyes flickered with panic, but he quickly calmed down. That was the past. I didn't understand love back then. Everyone said we were a good match, and my parents liked you, so that's why I was with you. Lily is different from you. She's warm, vibrant. I'm going to tell my parents that I want to break off the engagement now. Lily, standing beside him, clutched William's hand tightly, as if declaring her ownership. Annabelle, I know you like William. But do you know what William truly likes? You and his family gave him too many restraints. He doesn't like eating clean but tasteless nutritional meals. He doesn't want arranged marriages or to study abroad with you. He doesn't want to be a tool for his family. He wants only what I can give him. I hope you can let go. I took a step back, feeling like I was the one destroying their happiness. Besides, William had agreed to the engagement. Our parents thought it was a good fit, and we got along well since childhood, so we were betrothed. And choosing to eat nutritional meals was William's own decision. He was always such a clean freak. I gritted my teeth, trying hard to control my emotions. If that's the case, I wish you happiness. I stepped backward and turned to leave the cafeteria. I heard William's roommate behind me. William, aren't you going to go after her? Explain things to her, after all. You two have been together for so long. I'm worried Annabelle might do something impulsive. When William and I were together, I had a good relationship with his roommates. I often spent the entire day learning to make delicate desserts with our family's chef so William could bring them to share. William said coldly, "No need. Lily's elective class is about to start. I need to go with her. And besides, I get annoyed just looking at her. I don't want to say another word to her." I clenched my fists, tears that I had been holding back for a long time fell. I remember when I had terrible cramps and still insisted on going to class, he had made me ginger tea and skipped class to sit with me, saying he wished he could spend every second of the day with me and that he would do anything for me. Now, talking to me is just a waste of his time. I received a package from William, filled with the gifts I had given him. Everything except the bespoke suit was returned. Along with that package came a letter of annulment. 3 days later, William's parents invited my parents and me to the most upscale restaurant in the city. William sat there with his head down, his face slightly swollen. William's mother held my hand. "Annabelle, I just found out he secretly annulled the engagement. I'm here today to bring him to apologize to you. I won't acknowledge anyone else as my daughter-in-law. You are the only one I recognize." William's mother's voice was stern. She turned to William and said, "Hurry up and apologize to Annabelle." William was silent. After a long time, he squeezed out the words, "I'm serious. I want to cancel the engagement. Don't force me to be with Annabelle. I have my own choices. I want the freedom to choose my partner." His words left my parents and his in an awkward situation. William's mother slammed her hand on the table, her voice trembling. "You were the one who chose to get engaged, and now you're the one who wants to cancel it. Did we force you? Everyone knows you're engaged. It's not fair to Annabelle now that you're canceling it." At this moment, a voice sounded outside the door. It was Lily, rushing over breathless. "Auntie, feelings can change. I think you shouldn't interfere with William's right to freely choose. You can't decide what kind of life he wants." When William saw Lily arrive, he immediately went to grasp her hand. They looked like a lovebird pair, and William's mother was livid at the sight. "We didn't invite you, an outsider, to this meal. Why are you sticking your nose in our family affairs? Besides, you're a third party in someone else's relationship, and now you dare to accuse us from a moral high ground. How did your parents teach you?" William stood in front of Lily, protecting her. "Mom, you're not allowed to talk to Lily like that." Tears streamed down Lily's face. "Auntie, William and I are truly in love." In the end, they escaped the restaurant hand in hand, leaving both of our families staring at each other. My family and the Walker family had been business partners for many years. William's parents had originally wanted to offer a formal apology, even if it wouldn't lead to our marriage. But William and Lily's behavior clearly disrespected both families. In a fit of anger, William's parents issued him an ultimatum. If he didn't break up with Lily, his older brother would receive all of the inheritance rights. And William's actions made it clear that he had chosen love. The Walker family revoked his car and credit cards. Their romantic drama spread throughout the school. The top 3 trending posts on the school forum became #RealLifeIdolDrama, Walker. Family young master elopes with poor girl #star-crossed lovers fleeing #Walker family young master gives up family business for love. The way fellow students looked at me changed from envy to pity. I lost love, so I poured all of my energy into my studies. One night, when I couldn't sleep, I went to the laboratory to work on my research paper draft. Lily, her face twisted in pain, collapsed in front of my car, clutching her stomach. Annabelle, can you take me to the hospital? I think I have acute appendicitis. I had never been one to help others. Where's your boyfriend? Or at least call an ambulance. Lily's face was pale. William's car was revoked. It's too late to find a taxi. Her voice got softer and softer, and I began to realize that she didn't mention the ambulance because she probably couldn't afford it. After all, her and William's only source of income was her meager living expenses. Lily's eyes suddenly lit up. You wouldn't just watch me die, would you? Besides, the hospital is just 2 kilometers away. It's just a small favor for you. I was stunned. I couldn't believe she could be so matter-of-fact. No, I don't want to get my car dirty. Lily didn't expect me to refuse her. Her pale face flushed slightly. We're classmates. How could you not give me a ride? You'll be punished for being so unkind. No wonder William doesn't like you. I rolled down the car window. You look human, but you sure like barking. Unfortunately, my car doesn't carry crazy dogs. Don't try to manipulate me with guilt. I can choose who I want to give a ride to, and I don't need to be falsely kind to be liked by anyone. I couldn't be bothered to talk to her anymore. I restarted the engine to leave, but she threw herself in front of my car. My tire hit her belt and she fell hard, propelled by the car's momentum. I saw that she had fallen rather clumsily, but didn't think she was seriously hurt. I was just about to leave when a familiar figure appeared in front of my car. William used his own coat to wrap up Lily and held her in his arms. He looked at Lily as if she were a rare treasure. How long ago was it that he had looked at me like that? Lily, leaning against him, gave me a look of triumph. The next second, William furiously pounded on my car window. Annabelle, get out of the car and apologize to Lily. It's fine if you didn't want to give her a ride to the hospital, but how could you be so malicious and purposely knock her over? I can't believe I was so blind about you. I didn't know you were such a terrible person. The coldness and disgust in William's eyes were something I had never seen before. Even though I had decided to let go of him, this look still made me feel physically uncomfortable. I subconsciously explained, I didn't. She jumped in front of me. William harshly cut me off. I saw it all. Annabelle, I never thought you were this way, but now you're disgusting. At this moment, Lily was cowering in William's arms, silent like a frightened rabbit, as if I had bullied her. After a long pause, she said in a trembling voice, Thank goodness you were here. I was so scared. William was even more furious, his eyes turning red like a mad beast. I believed that if I were outside of the car, he would strangle me. His eyes were red as he glared at me, grinding out through gritted teeth. Annabelle, you just wait. I'm going to take Lily to the hospital now. If anything happens to Lily because of this, next time we meet I won't be so polite. I watched William carry Lily to call for a taxi. Their departing silhouettes were just like a scene from a TV drama. But all I felt was disgust. I restarted my engine with my cold fingers. You make me feel disgusted too. Lily didn't have appendicitis. She had an ectopic pregnancy. And how do I know? William called me to ask for money. I had never heard him so humble. His voice on the verge of tears. Annabelle, I have no other choice. Can you help me this once? William used to spend tens of thousands on a single piece of clothing, And now he couldn't even afford the few thousand for the surgery. It seemed like the Walker family had truly cut him off. I said coldly, "No," and hung up before William could even start his tirade and blacklisted his number. Shortly after, I received a message on WeChat from Lewis, a mutual friend of William and me. I looked at a screenshot of a group chat among William's friends titled, "The Fun Bunch." "Brothers, I need to borrow some money. I'll pay you back later." He was still acting so high and mighty. In the past, they would have fawned all over him. But, taking away William's status, how many of his friends were truly genuine? I kept scrolling down. Just as I expected, the very same friends were mocking him. "Sure, you can borrow money, but when are you going to pay us back, bro? Didn't they cut up your card? How are you going to pay us back? Are you and your girlfriend going to work and pay us back? Bro, you don't have a few $1,000s on hand? Didn't you say that you couldn't treat poor people as human? We all remember that. Whoever lends you money today is just a fool. Haha, bro, are you pretending to be poor? How can bro not have money?" There was a long silence under the posts. No response from William. I couldn't help but laugh. It was reaping what he had sown. He hadn't respected his friends before, so he didn't deserve any respect now. Since he chose to give up everything for love, he should prepare to face the consequences. I heard William later took out a small online loan to barely cover the surgery costs. Half a month later, I saw them both again at school. They were leaning against a big tree, Lily's head resting on William's shoulder. "It's all because of me that you had to take out a loan for my surgery, and now you have to work to pay it back. Do you regret it?" Her voice trembled a little, afraid of hearing a negative answer. William looked a bit haggard. After a moment of thought, he held Lily tightly. "I made you suffer. I won't regret it. The current hardship is temporary. Believe me, we will have money soon. Then we'll have a child of our own. I don't believe I can't do anything without the Walker family. I'm sure I can create my own career. We'll get better and better. Then we'll have our own little home, and no one can control us." Lily looked at William with teary eyes. "William, I believe in you." I watched them from afar. They were truly a match made in heaven. So naive it was cute. The school found out about Lily's pregnancy, and she was ordered to suspend her studies. William dropped out of school directly, maybe because he couldn't afford the expensive tuition, or maybe because he felt that his ability didn't require a degree at all. William and Lily rented a place outside, and he started looking for a job. He had always been so arrogant. During his internship, his father had arranged a corporate management assistant position for him with a monthly salary of $20,000. People at the company flattered him, even praising his garbage PowerPoint presentations as company classics. He must have had a misunderstanding of his abilities, so he only applied for positions like manager, general manager, or marketing director. But these positions had high requirements, and he didn't even have a university degree. He couldn't even get an interview. He finally found a company willing to accept him, only to discover it was a shell company, and they ran away with his remaining living expenses. Lily had used her previous part-time money to support her parents and younger brother. Now that she didn't even have a part-time job, there was no money to support the two of them. Helpless, William started working as a security guard during the day and selling soap flowers at a street stall at night. Luckily, soap flowers were quite popular at that time. William worked from 6 in the morning to midnight, and finally saved his first bit of hard-earned money. Half a month later, when I was out having late-night snacks with friends, I saw William on the side of the road, just closing up his stall. He looked a lot more worn out. William was lovingly cupping Lily's face. "Why are you here? You should be resting at home." Lily smiled shyly and hugged William. "I was just worried about you." As if she remembered something, Lily, with an excited expression, took out a plastic award medal from her bag and presented it to William as seeking praise. "The children in the mountains are so pitiful. Today the Hometown Foundation organized a donation, and I donated some." William used to think Lily was kind, using her hard-earned money to donate, while I would only spend money on myself. Because of this, William was very disgusted by my behavior of spending money only on myself and my family. It wasn't that I didn't donate, but I wouldn't directly donate to foundations. After the foundation went through all of their processes, the money wouldn't reach the people who truly needed help. William anxiously looked at his phone. Sure enough, his balance was completely empty. He roared at Lily in frustration. That was the money I made from selling soap flowers for more than 2 months. You donated all of it. Did you even consider how we're going to live? We have to pay the stall fee soon. A hint of shock flashed in Lily's eyes. She probably didn't expect William to yell at her about this. In the past, William would have stroked her hair and praised her kindness. Lily opened her mouth, retorting, "If we lose our stall, we'll just set it up somewhere else. Besides, we can find another stall. What would happen to the mountain children who don't have clothes to wear and will freeze to death this winter?" William was silent, closing his eyes. He suddenly exploded. He kicked over the stall that he had just packed up. The fragile and cheap soap flowers scattered all over the ground, and some were crushed. Lily was startled, clutching her chest. "What are you doing? These are soap flowers that we spent so many days and nights making." William was silent, his eyes bloodshot. "Lily, you know these took us so many days and nights to make. The money you donated today, I worked 18 hours a day for more than 2 months to earn it. We only earn this much money. Your parents play mahjong every day and ask us for money when they lose. Then there's your brother with his high-interest loans. Do you know what I've been through these days? When I'm hungry, I just gnaw on steamed buns. When it rains, I have to borrow shelter from the convenience store next door, and the clerk there even called my shoes. And me dirty. When I got sick, I could only afford to buy cheap vitamin C because other medicine was too expensive, and I've now got chronic rhinitis from it. Do you know how long it will take for me to make the money you donated again?" Lily was speechless. Her eyes were filled with tears. After a long while, she managed to say, "Even if I was wrong about this, I'm scared for you." Lily clearly knew William was really angry. She was afraid that William would really leave her. She could only try to guilt-trip William into feeling sorry for her. William was indeed affected by this, and he relaxed his clenched fists. But his tone toward Lily was still full of impatience. "Did I force you to miscarry? It's because you refused to take precautions." Lily became angry. She slapped William in the face. The sound of skin hitting skin in the night air was particularly loud. "So now you're blaming me? Would I have had to go through all this if it weren't for you?" William was stunned by the slap. He reflexively pushed Lily away as he spoke. "If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be going through this either." Lily stumbled back and landed heavily on the ground, clutching her stomach and crying. "We were driving in a luxury car to a party, and my friends were laughing loudly." William was attracted by the sound and looked over. His eyes were helpless, confused, and somewhat envious. It took a long time for him to look away, crouch down, and forlornly pick up the muddy soap flowers one by one. "I thought I would never see William again after that. I had heard about William's family. After he broke off ties with his parents had shifted their focus to his younger brother. His younger brother was a top student at New York University. After returning home, he had taken over the family business, and it was said that he managed it quite well. I also successfully received an acceptance invitation to a business school in the United States. Since William had broken ties with his family and me, our lives shouldn't have been intertwined anymore. Once while driving home, I saw a familiar figure at an intersection. William was wearing a yellow uniform delivering food. Lily was riding on the back of his scooter. They were also waiting at a red light. Suddenly an old man appeared, yelled "Ouch!" and fell in front of the BMW. The old man sat on the ground groaning. "It hurts so much, I think I might have broken my leg." Lily said anxiously, "William, how can this BMW driver be so careless? They knocked this old man over. Hurry up and help him." William seemed to understand what was happening. He had seen this kind of thing before when he was driving his Rolls-Royce. The old man was clearly trying to stage an accident. And in City A, these scam artists were usually backed by gangs. Car owners who ran into these situations could only admit defeat and pay up, otherwise they might get beaten up. Some car owners would secretly take photos to keep as evidence for the police, but openly they would never dare to go against them. If it were the old William, he would be fine, with his family backing him up. Now he wouldn't dare to go against the mafia. William quickly made a shush gesture. However, Lily didn't understand at all and continued to loudly scold William. "You're so unkind. Can't you even do something so small? Are you still the William the first knew before?" Helpless, William leaned toward Lily and said a few words to her. Lily instantly understood and shouted, "So you were faking it? You didn't break your leg at all." Lily grabbed the old man and said, "So you were here to scam us, right? Let's go to the police station. My boyfriend and the car owner won't let you get away with this. You're going to jail." The old man resisted, kicking his legs on the ground, not wanting to stand up, while giving William and Lily a warning glare. At this moment, the car owner got out of the car. When he saw this, he panicked. He quickly said, No, we won't go to the police station. I'll pay some money and let's just call it even, okay?" Lily wasn't scared at all and said in an even louder voice, "How can we pay money? This kind of person needs to go to jail. We're sending him to the police station. William, hurry up and help me." The car owner turned pale. Please don't ruin me, okay?" Lily's loud voice attracted a lot of onlookers, who were pointing and whispering. The old man on the ground, seeing the situation going against him, glared at William and Lily and threw down the line, "You just wait." Later, I heard that William and Lily were surrounded in an alley. Seeing that he was about to get beaten up, William helplessly said, "I'm sorry, it's all my fault today. I'll cover your losses. Can I pay you back in installments after I save some money?" Lily refused to agree, yelling at William, "Are you even a man? You're letting others bully your girlfriend. And you still want to pay them money? You have no backbone. I misjudged you." The thugs wouldn't stand for this kind of provocation. One of them threw a punch at Lily, but she was so frightened that she screamed and instinctively pulled William in front of her. "William, save me." William took the full force of the punch for Lily. Blood streamed out of his nose. William was a little scared of blood, and when he wiped his face and saw the blood, he fainted. The thugs, although local bullies, were afraid of causing a death, so they dispersed. Only Lily was left there screaming and crying, "William, what's wrong?" I heard that William had broken his nose bridge. On top of their poverty, they had to pay expensive medical bills. William had to go to work injured. Not only did he have to support the two of them, he also had to support Lily's parents, who didn't have pensions and gambled. They were constantly arguing. Finally, William said, "I'm tired." Lily wouldn't be outdone and pushed William's shoulder. "Are you the only one who's tired? Look, I had an abortion for you. How many girls are willing to have an abortion for a man? Isn't that enough of a sacrifice?" Lily always used the abortion to blackmail William when they argued. William would always give in at the end. But this time, William couldn't hold back anymore. He yelled, "I must have been possessed to be with you. I really regret it. I can't take it anymore. Let's break up. I owe you, I'll pay you back in the next life. I'd rather die now than be with you." Lily cried, "If you want to leave, then leave. You just don't like me anymore, right? You've changed. You won't even suffer these hardships for me. I won't force you to stay either." The argument ended with William slamming the door and leaving. But this time William never came back. Lily started calling William frantically, but it was always busy. William and Lily broke up completely. The relationship that started so passionately ended so hastily. William may have truly loved Lily. The way he looked at her was like looking at a rare treasure. In the past, he had never looked at me that way. He had suffered a lot for Lily, hardships he had never experienced before. This was enough to prove how much he liked Lily. In the beginning, he sincerely wanted to be with her, but in the end, he couldn't stand the reality. The love he pursued had changed into the very thing he once despised. Like plastic soap flowers, cheap and fragile. They would shatter when the wind blew and they hit the ground. Later, William wanted to return to the Walker family, but the family refused to acknowledge him. Originally, his older brother, Eric, had been studying abroad since he was a child, while William had stayed with his parents. His parents had actually favored William. William had often badmouthed his brother to their parents. So Eric was very resentful of this younger brother. And this time, William's father had a major illness. While William had run away to pursue love, it was Eric who had diligently taken care of the parents. After that, Eric had rightfully seized all of the shares of the Walker family. In this situation, William's parents had completely given up on William. Eric had even less reason to show leniency to his younger brother. Weren't you going to pursue your love? It was you who said you wanted to break ties with us. All the property has already been given to your brother. Ask your brother about it. We can't manage anything you do from now on. Eric even called security to throw him out of the company. After this incident, William was depressed for a while. In the end, he came to beg me. William's eyes looked red and swollen, and his expression was haggard. It was hard to tell if it was because he had been working too hard these days, or if he had just been crying. Annabelle, I'm sorry. I know I was wrong. I waved my hand. Don't be. You're never wrong. You were pursuing your great love. What could possibly be wrong? He heard the sarcasm in my tone, and eagerly stepped forward to grab my hand. Can you still forgive me? Can we get engaged again? Just like before. Let me continue to protect you and take care of you. I dodged his outstretched hand and couldn't help but laugh. Maybe I would have been moved by these words in the past, but now I just found it disgusting. The once handsome face now looked repulsive. Do you think I'm a trash recycling station? I'll pick up any trash. Besides, you're no longer the heir of the Walker family. What do you have to offer for an engagement? Can you afford the dowry and wedding that I want? I seemed to have hit a nerve with William. His face instantly turned red, and his voice became quieter. As long as you remarry me and we have a child, I believe my parents will see that I have sincerely repented, and that I have an heir. They'll change their minds and let me return. He clenched his fists. Then, I'll still be the heir of the Walker family. I was silent upon hearing this. Could people be this shameless? I silently got up and moved away from him. William, give up. I'll never remarry you. Never in my life. You said you liked Lily, wanted to marry her, and that I wasn't worthy of carrying her shoes. You broke off our engagement in front of both families. Now you regret it and come back saying you love me. What kind of trash are you? Adults should be responsible for their decisions. Don't you know that? I squinted, pretending to be surprised. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you're not a person. William's face turned beet red. I really know I was wrong, Annabelle. You're my last chance. I only now know how much I love you. We can go back to school together as we had planned. When I was first with Lily, I didn't expect her to be like this. I only realized after we were together that she wasn't good. She was faking it the entire time. He was slandering his ex in front of me to win my favor. I sneered. You're the only one who wasn't faking it. You're the most genuine. Go live your genuine life. Don't come begging me. I feel like throwing up just looking at your face now. I shouldn't have been with you in the first place if I had known this would happen. William's eyes showed despair. Suddenly, as if he discovered something, his eyes lit up. He lunged forward and grabbed the empty shipping box on the table. You received my gift. So you still like me, right? What you said just now was just out of anger, right? He stroked the shipping box. This is the necklace I bought after working 2 months of night shifts. I knew you would like it. I tilted my head as if thinking, are you talking about that cheap Swarovski rhinestones necklace? I said the same thing to him now that he had said to me when I gifted him the tailored suit. Oh, I didn't have the heart to tell you I thought it was trash, so I already threw it in the trash. William had been arrogant and dropped out of school, then later wanted to return, but the school leaders didn't agree. It was because of William's family background that they had let him in despite his bad grades. Now, the school was even less likely to allow William, who had nothing, to return. Lily was punished by the school and also received a lot of criticism. She couldn't bear those rumors. Her grades dropped sharply. Eventually, she failed even the most basic courses and was expelled from school because she failed too many classes. Lily could only start working, but what could she do without a degree? Later, I saw her on the side of the road. The soap flowers were no longer selling well. She started selling small goods that she had bought from Iwu. Her taste in selecting products was terrible. They looked cheap and useless. She also looked much more haggard. There were many red, swollen pimples on her face because of stress. She was trying to sell a plastic earring to an old woman. Look at this. It's stylish. If you buy the earrings, I'll give you a free hair clip. The old woman glanced at it. What kind of crap is this? I don't even want it if you gave it to me for free. Lily's face flushed red with shame. She had never been through this kind of humiliation. In the past, it was William who had gone out to sell the products. She never knew that selling at a street stall was so hard. She gathered her courage and said, "Then how about these earrings? Buy one get two free. Get lost. Stop bothering me. I need to buy groceries. I told you I don't want your crap." I silently left. Lily's current situation was her own doing. I didn't feel anything toward her. She had just taken a pile of garbage that I didn't want. If it wasn't for her, I might not have seen William's true colors so clearly. I might not have received the acceptance invitation to the business school in the United States, and I might not have received over a dozen offers with million-dollar salaries from reputable companies. William didn't know any other technical skills, so I heard that he went to work helping out at a pool hall. 80 yuan a day. But once he accidentally fell asleep at work, and a thief ran off with the change from the drawer. Even though it was just change, it was a few thousand yuan. He had to work for several months to pay it back. When the pool hall owner found out about this, he scolded William and kicked him out. He even posted it on social media. After that, I heard he couldn't even find part-time work. 3 years later, I graduated with my master's degree and returned to the country for an internship. I started as a vice president at my family's company. I was engaged again. My fiancé was even more handsome, and his family was also well matched with mine. We had met at a party when I accidentally stumbled into his arms while drunk. When I came back home, my friends held a small gathering. My fiancé came to pick me up in his Lamborghini. When we arrived at the hotel entrance, I saw a figure delivering food. He was hunched over, wiping his sweat. He placed the food on the ground and was driven away by the security guard. "You can't leave your food here. Go away." I was stunned when I saw that face. It was William. He looked much older than he did a few years ago. In his 20s, he looked like someone in their mid-30s. It was very cold, but he was only wearing a thin yellow uniform. The cuffs of his clothes were very dirty. I thought I would never meet him again, but I never imagined that he had fallen into such a terrible situation. My parents still contacted me occasionally. They really liked me and had even introduced me to some dates. I heard that after Eric took over the company, he was managing it very well, but whenever there was talk of taking William back, Eric would resolutely refuse. William turned around and made eye contact with me, who was wearing an expensive gown, ready to enter the hotel. He had an embarrassed look on his face. He silently hid the food behind his back, looked at my arm and my fiancé's, his expression becoming very complex. He then quickly lowered his head, tucked his cuffs, and quickly walked past us. "Annabelle? What's wrong?" My fiancé seemed to have noticed that I was distracted and called out to me. I snapped back to reality and smiled, leaning against him. "It's nothing. Let's go. Whether the road ahead is dark or filled with light, it's your own choice. But one must bear the consequences. This heavy price might take William a lifetime to repay. But what he is going through has nothing to do with me anymore. After throwing away the trash, I can finally continue my light and joyful journey. And my journey has already begun."